And we are live.
Welcome back, you sauceless degenerates, to Dungeons and Drama.
Hello.
Hello.
I went in with sauceless degenerates, and all you guys could muster was a simple hello.
I mean, how do you follow that?
Yeah, that's true. You know what? I'll give you that. Sometimes I'm just hard to follow with these things. It comes to me.
We're playing D&D!
Yes, we
With
are.
only 2 people!
It'll work out!
Alright, so, first thing I want to do is get into the recap so everybody can remember what happened last time. Do you guys remember what you were up to?
I remember informing Princess Kasana on all of the crap that went down with the killer. Or, we assume killer? It seems to be some sort of blood transfusion-related kill thing.
Correct.
I don't
and
even
you got
know.
A little detail on that as he experimented with the blood and
It was very strange. Listen to the podcast; you'll get the full recap there.
the full 2.5 hour recap.
It's worth the time, honestly.
Agreed. You guys, as far as I recall, did not exit. Princess Kisana went back behind the throne into the room behind there, and you guys were just kind of still there. That's all that happened, right? You guys were still chilling.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we were talking, and then, from what I remember, Despair wanted to get her weapon back.
Ah, yes, that's correct.
And our lovely alchemist friend darted off, saying something about a robot, and we heard explosions, so we assume he left the building.
Yeah, I'm sure, considering the all-nighter that he pulled in his Red Bull-fueled rampage, that he'll probably catch some Z's before we're
that's copyrighted. It's D&D related Red Bull. It's not the product. Not the prize. Don't sue us.
Red Bison.
There you go. That's totally that's canon now. Red Bison.
Act like I won't write it in here. All right.
Let's go read my notes.
Excellent.
Fuck yeah.
So you guys stand as Princess Kisana runs off back to the room, and you watch her disappear back there with kind of a hurry, but still a polite walk about her as you stand there, looking at each other after you see the crazy alchemist man run off, rambling about his next project.
Huh.
He's full of hustle and bustle.
I see that. So, weren't we given a quest of some kind, DM?
I mean, you guys' only quest...
It's more of an open investigation.
Yeah, you guys are investigating and trying to figure out what went down with the blood. And you just have the lead that you got through the alchemist, that the blood seems to be of a deathly nature.
Some sort of
necrotic magic about it. And that's the last detail that you guys got about it, and you report it to Princess Kisana. And she said, please report back to me if you've gotten any more info. But yeah, that's the most questy thing that you guys have as of right now.
Fair enough. To which Zephyr will mention, I don't know if this is the best time, and he's saying this to Despair, not to Princess Kasana, she's gone. He just says, I don't know if this is the best time, but I did just arrive here. Do you know where I could find some work? I kind of have to pay my way through this.
Well...
My family has very little regard for, book learning.
I see. What does Despair know of any jobs?
Not particularly. She's not been in town too long herself. She's been living by the city for quite some time, but she just kind of found the first job that came to her. And she doesn't know much about it, and she doesn't really pay too much attention. However, the only job-related, or the only thing that Zephyr has mentioned so far is his want to go to the library, so that's what I recall.
Well, Despair would be like, I don't really know, what do you like?
Oh, also, sorry, Zephyr also did speak to the fisherman.
Yes.
Ferris Telhart and Morin Lenar, and as you kind of saw their other fishing buddy, Vialis Demore, the red-skinned tiefling. So that would be another place that you could go asking about a job.
Cool. Good to know. Zephyr will pipe in. I do have to visit the library at some point today, but I'm not certain if that's really up your alley. It's up to you. But
How about you become a librarian?
that actually is one of my goals. But not a simple librarian. There's far too little space in most libraries for all knowledge.
Huh, okay.
I try to collect what I can. In any case. Drinks? What time is it at this point, DM?
I'm not on push to talk, I forgot. It's still pretty early. You guys woke up, went to the bathhouse, and then went straight to the princess.
Not drinks! Not a day drinker. In that case, Zephyr is going to mention, perhaps if you're looking to acquire some coin of your own, perhaps you'd like to join me. It would seem you have a break from your source of hassle.
Yes.
Who was that man, anyway?
He is...
Lewin, I think his name was?
Correct, Lewin. You did not catch his last name, and not even Despair knows.
I gathered what his profession is, but... And he nods to Despair, and he's like, it's not my business.
Well, I mean, it is kind of obvious, Despair would say.
He looks her up and down really quick, and then realizes what he just did, and, eyes back to the eyes, and and says, yeah, no, I kind of got that much.
Yeah. Despair would just be like, what kind of jobs would you be looking at?
Well, you're a strong woman. I can handle myself. Perhaps we can get some side cash at the wharf.
What does that mean?
Oh, wharf at the docks.
Wharf, the docks.
Okay. Well,
Don't worry about it.
Would just Despair would just say, well, I would need my things with me, and they're back at...
Yes, of course. We'll head there first. That is assuming you want to join me on this. You do not have to stay if you don't want to.
I don't have anything better to do.
Fair enough.
If you recall last time, when she mentioned that she wanted to go back and get her weapons, she was nervous about going back to Lewin. You suggested that you would talk to him first.
Ah, yes, I have a few things to say to him. If you wouldn't mind leading the way.
Sure thing.
I'm afraid I'm still a bit green around the gills with this city. Not very, pleasant areas that I've been to.
Then Despair would, lead the way to the brothel, I guess. Or, does she live in the brothel, or does she live somewhere near it?
She lives
okay.
All the girls do. It's a pretty sizable building, that has many rooms for them to stay in, as well as conduct business in.
Is it, really, ostentatious and huge and ridiculous, or is it like one of those slum-like, brothels?
It honestly, upon first glance, you wouldn't really be able to tell the difference between, the area with the rooms and a simple, inn, or something like that.
Okay, so it's not, lowest scale.
No.
Yeah.
It's a pretty modest place, though.
Gotcha.
And then there's the other area where Lewin lives, where the common area and the kitchen is, etc. It's two separate buildings, essentially.
Gotcha. Awesome. So he will follow behind Despair.
Yep, and Despair will get to the brothel, and how many minutes it takes, and she'll
While we're
walk
on our
inside.
While we're on our way, I would like to pipe in and say, I do notice that you attract a lot of attention. Now, obviously, that could be part of your profession, but have you considered wearing clothes? I'm not going to stop you, but I see a lot of prying eyes.
I don't really see the problem with not wearing clothes. The only time I would wear clothes is if it's too cold.
Zephyr gets a little flustered and he says, I wouldn't say it's a problem. It's more along the lines of unwanted attention. And with that, he'll just continue on. In relative silence.
Well, Despair would just say, I don't really care.
Fair enough. And at that point, Zephyr's sort of like, okay, I get it. Sort of just culture shock. I get it.
As you guys arrive, you start walking up to the brothel and almost sneaking because of how nervous Despair is to enter. You kind of hear that there is some business going on in the rooms, but as you walk into the common room, you see Lewin up to his normal stuff. He's just kind of drinking a mug of ale as the other girls kind of sit on the floor. Some of them are out doing their thing, and the others are just kind of sitting there talking amongst each other and stuff, and they go silent as you enter.
I take a look around. Does it look like they're silent because of despair, or silent because of a half-elf?
Despair.
Okay, yeah, I figured as much. I take the lead at this point, and I walk up to the counter and I say, "Hello there."
He kind of looks at you. He puts his eyebrow up. What are you doing back so early?
Well, it's actually, and I realized Despair was the one being mentioned, but Zephyr jumps into his field of view, like, kind of forcibly, and says, "Yes, I actually had a couple of things I would like to request from you." Yeah. Okay, cutting back in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I keep my position in front of his face and I say, "I have a few things I would like to discuss with you, actually. Call it a business transaction."
He kind of turns his skeptical gaze with his eyebrow raised from Despair and turns back to you with a pleasant smile. "And what is it exactly? How can I help you?"
How do the girls react to him?
What do you mean? Like
the
other girls sitting
fear
around?
or concern, or just don't want to piss him off, or is he aggressive?
In this very moment, do you mean? Or do you just mean in general?
In general, like from what I've seen so far. Would that be an insight check, or?
No, I can just tell you, because you guys have witnessed them enough. Most of the girls seem to fear him in certain ways. They'll act on their own and have their own personalities until he butts in, and they'll kind of control them, and they instantly listen. They don't really question his word at all. They just kind of go along with what he says. If he says be quiet, they'll be quiet. If he says sit down, they'll sit down. They just follow his every command, and when he's not around, they're kind of more themselves, but when he's around, they don't talk as much.
What a dipshit.
Yeah.
Anyway, at this point, I'll serve, very business casual, hand on the back of their shoulder, and just start walking him around the room as if it was like a large-scale production I'm making out of this. And
Wolf of Wall Street.
Exactly, like, we're halfway to the Quaaludes, like just acting as if we're thick as thieves, even though he has no idea who I am. And I say, "We actually had an interesting conversation with Princess Kisana about you."
Oh, did you now? He looks
yes,
a little concerned.
Yes, indeed. But not anything negative. No, in fact, very positive. She was very impressed with the muscle mass of your specimen here, and I point out Despair.
Is that right?
Yes,
and what did she say about it? Why does she take such an interest, may I ask?
She said this woman is incredibly muscular. She showed the guards what for. Like, it was far more than she's ever seen in any sort of sense of muscle mass. Her guards were astonished at her strength. Well, among other things, of course. And she actually had a suggestion that she wanted me to run by you, since we were heading an investigation with, hush hush.
What's the suggestion?
Well, the suggestion is that we borrow her for the remainder of the investigation. It's a very sensitive matter, so I need you to keep this on the down low. I'm trusting you here. I hope you can understand that.
Oh, I'm definitely going to need you to roll me.
Do I get advantage for that speech?
Yes, roll me persuasion.
Persuasion?
Advantage, please.
It's a +3 for me, hang on. I'm using actual dice, so one sec.
You're good.
Oh, holy fucking Christ, that's not good. 1 sec.
Well, it's with advantage.
Okay, that's 14, 15, 16, 17 persuasion.
A big grin goes across his face as he's kind of proud. You made him feel like it was his doing and not Despair's.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yes, I raise only the best girls. I keep them at their tip-top shape, even if they may not like all my rules and my commands. It does seem to pay off now, doesn't it, Despair?
Yes, it does.
It's at this point I butt in, and yes, of course, tip-top shape, tip-top shape. Speaking of which, actually, there were going to be some, and I can't believe I'm telling you this. I could get in serious trouble for this, but she also did mention to one of the guards when I was talking about a surprise inspection. I don't know when it's coming, but I do know that they're being very cautious about human rights. You should be very, very... Of course, you don't have anything to worry about, naturally. It's just saying you should be, you should definitely make sure that your girls are taken well care of for the next week or two.
Are you suggesting I don't take care of my girls?
Oh, no, of course not. Of course not. I would never suggest such a thing. But I would say I did notice one of them was having a bit of trouble, opening that door over there. I think you might need to squeak them down a bit. I'm just having fun with him at this point.
Opening the door?
Treating him almost like a handyman here.
Which girl, exactly?
Oh, I couldn't possibly speak up, but I would say, just something to keep in mind, I have business to attend to. And I start waving, sort of, casually waving away.
As you walk away, you can see him lock his eyes on the slender blonde elf girl.
Fuck, that's not what I wanted.
The one that was consistently teasing Despair.
That
he
works.
just kind of gives he gives her
That worked out better than I thought.
a look with his eyebrow raised, classic expression as you walk away. Wait. How long will you need her for?
Maybe a week or two at least.
A week or two?
Hey, this is not my business. This is Princess Kisana's business. Imagine the pull you'll have after this.
Alright, but every once in a while, Despair, look at me.
Yeah.
I want you to report back to me and tell me that everything is okay, because I worry about you, you understand? And I want to make sure that everything is alright. I'm very skeptical here, but it's Princess Kisana, what can I say? You understand?
I understand.
Okay, I better hear back from you very, very soon, Despair.
Good man, good man. And I give him a quick pat, and I whisper over to Despair, grab your stuff. And I sit down by the... is there, chairs by the door?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just relax on one of those.
So, Despair would go to her room, and
That's a lot of fun.
she would open the door, make sure all her stuff is there and intact.
Yeah, all of her stuff is there. Nobody really messed with anything.
Okay, so Despair would take her axe and anything else that she would need.
You're the size of a mountain. No one's fucking with your stuff.
Yeah, no, they learn pretty well. They can tease you, but if they actually touch any of your stuff, things might go down.
Yeah. So, yeah, Despair would get her all of her stuff, and then she would come back.
The moment she's ready, I give a quick bow to the... I hesitate to use the word gentleman at the front, and walk out the door and just... Whew.
As you're leaving, the blonde elf girl I spoke of, her name is Fora, by the way, so I don't have to keep saying that.
I did not point to her in that conversation, by the way.
No, I know.
Just spoke about her.
She has a little bit of a history with Lewin, so anytime anything goes down, he kind of already has her in mind, if you know what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
Anyway, as you guys walk out, she just kind of looks at Despair. Bye, Despair. We're all gonna miss you. And makes a mock crying motion with her hands.
What a bitch.
Seems like the feeling is mutual. And then she walks out.
Oh, snap. Shade
all
thrown.
Right. Where are you guys headed to now?
Oh, fuck. After that, I need a moment to breathe. I don't do talking in these games.
You killed it there.
I'm never a bard. I've never been a bard, and this is not a bard.
Bard-like
so
behavior.
I'm working with what I've got.
Yep.
Holy shit. Okay. So, do you have anywhere you would like to go first?
Well,
You guys
since
were headed to the... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
we're looking for work,
I mean, it can't hurt.
you know,
We don't really have any leads at the moment, so we may as well make some cash on the side.
yeah,
To the docks?
sure.
To the docks. And I lead on as far as my directional sense goes. I don't really know the town.
You know the general area because as you guys left the party, you saw Ferris and Morin and their friend Vialis moving towards it. So you know generally where to go, and you keep walking, and eventually you kind of see it. And
Perfect.
It's a large dock. You know, you guys are in a port city. This is a pretty large area, so it wasn't too hard to find.
I head towards water.
You get there, and the first thing you see, kind of on the nearest dock towards you, with the boat currently docked up, you see Morin on the boat doing something with a rope, you know, fixing stuff up. You see Vialis, the red-skinned tiefling man, with his head in his hands, kind of just looking frustrated, as Ferris is sitting in a chair on the dock as he looks, "Why, hello! I didn't expect to see you back here."
Yes, hello again. I do apologize for my abysmal behavior before. I was just simply not enjoying the cotillion.
He chuckles and just kind of gives you an understanding nod. "No, I know. Well, I kind of got a read on your personality. I didn't take it personally. We all like our alone time."
Indeed, and being surrounded with such, well, forgive me, snobby people tends to drain one's energy, one might say.
He gives you a good hearty laugh. "You're definitely not alone in that opinion, I'll tell you that."
Oh, thank goodness. So, what seems to be the problem? And I look over to the guy with his head in his hands.
He gives you a deep sigh and just kind of shakes his head. "What isn't the problem?"
Well, perhaps I could help. I actually came here in search of a job. Maybe this could suffice.
"I don't need your help. Just
Okay.
please go back to your books and not talk to me. Thank you." Ferris kind of cuts in and he walks in front of the guy, kind of waving back at him, trying to, you know, just waving his hand at him. Don't listen to him. He's been like that recently. He gets in his moods. You know how it is. But we actually could use some help if you wouldn't mind.
Well, that's what we came here for.
I tell you what, Morin is not feeling too well today, and Vialis is Vialis, and I'm a bit of an old man and I can't go out on my own. You take my boat out. I'll let you go fishing, and we split it half and half. You give me half the fish, you keep the other half.
If your ration lasts for longer than 6 hours, do not take Vialis again. Sorry. I couldn't help it. It was right there. I had to. I'm sorry.
I love that name so much.
No, it's good. It's just it was bad circumstances and a horrible mind.
Excellent job, though.
I
applaud you.
I respond to him. Actually, I turn to Despair and I say, "Would that be suitable?
That's fine.
If you're
As
all right
long
with
as
the sea."
Yeah, I'm fine with the sea. Just as long as there's, like, you know... Well, Despair actually kind of does look uncomfortable.
I take her aside. Are you all right?
I don't really like fishing.
That's fair.
It's mainly because I don't like being cruel to animals.
I look at her massive axe and I say, "Yes." Very well. At which point I'm going to turn back to the ship captain. And I'm going to say, "You wanted this just for a fishing errand?"
Yes, that's really all I do around here. Why? What did you have in mind?
Well, I was just wondering if we could help. It really seems to be bothering your friend here. I know it's not my business.
In the middle of your sentence, before you can finish, you see the large Goliath man wave with a big dopey wave. "Hey, I remember you from the party." And then Ferris just puts his fingers on the bridge of his nose. "Morin, calm down."
Hello
And
to
he
you
just-
as well, Morin.
He just gives you a big dumb grin and goes back to doing what he was doing.
Zephyr gives that like polite smile that when you're around someone awkward, and it's just like, yes, sort of a wave back, like, oh, okay, he's harmless, massive but harmless. So at which point I return to the guy and I say, I realize it's not our business, but if I could relieve you of any of your troubles, I would be more than happy to help.
Really, all I have to do around here is catch some fish and then come back and catch some fish the next day. I really haven't got much else to do, I apologize.
That's alright. I think we'll try our luck with something around the tavern. Maybe there's a bulletin board or something we can take a look at. We're going to try not to, and I turn back to Despair, just for a look, and I say, we're going to do our best to be, make our judgments morally as well as we can. But have a wonderful day. If you do need that help again at a later date, I might have some other people that might be interested.
If she has her reservations about fishing, by no means does she have to pick up the pole. Does she mind just going along with you?
I turn to Despair.
She just kind of...
It would only be for one day. Easy money. We don't.
It is easy money, by the way. It does actually have kind of a lot of money.
Fine, but I'm not picking up the pole.
Yes! I mean,
That's fair, that's fair. I'll take care of that, don't worry. At which point, I reach out my hand to shake the guy's hand and say, I think you have a deal.
He puts his leathery old hand in yours and gives it a firm shake. Absolutely. Morin? As he says that, Morin kind of hops off as the dock shakes with his giant mass. Okay, goodbye! He gives you a big wave again.
I check my my beautifully white glove. How messy is it now?
I didn't even think you were wearing it this whole time. You wear it constantly?
I wear them constantly. The only time I take them off is to read.
It's pretty dirty then. I mean, these dudes are... they're out here fishing and doing dirty stuff all day. I would say it's got a little tinge to it.
Yep, I figured. I look
but
at
it's not unfixable.
I look at the glove and I go, right. Keep getting myself into these things. Alright, let's head out.
So Morin finishes what he was doing, mooring the rope and everything, and hops down, and Ferris just hands you a pole. She should be set to go.
Zephyr has spent most of his life indoors, so this is going to be a novel experience for him. He's kind of just excited to try something outdoorsy that he has never really had any consideration for, so he's looking to Despair for leading here.
Well, she has no interest in leading, considering.
This will be fun.
Also, how does our owlbear feel about going on a fishing
question.
trip or like going on a boat?
That would be on you. I don't really know. Does he have vegan tendencies as well, or?
No, she would let animals eat like what they need to.
Okay. So he's probably pretty nervous to be on a boat, as he's not used to doing that, but it's not like he's running away from it. He's just kind of climbed up in your arms and tucked away there.
I'll give him some... Well, I guess I'll read... Well, how tall is Despair?
Despair is 6'4".
Okay, we're almost even height. So I pet the owlbear on the head if he'll let me, and just sort of try to calm him down. Aww.
Oh, well, he hands you the pole and just kind of pats you on the shoulder and sits back down on the chair he was at, and goes back to just drinking. As Morin kind of sits next to him talking as he's not even paying any attention.
Alrighty. Zephyr's going to use everything he's learned in books to try and man this ship.
Okay, well, the way this works...
Basic fishing... I assume it's a basic fishing boat.
Despair doesn't,
pretty small.
Mind manning a ship, but I don't think she knows anything about it.
You'd be stronger than he would, so you'd be better at handling the waves, so there's that.
Yeah.
So Zephyr's just excited to try something new. He's just like, hey, interesting.
Yeah.
He likes knowledge, but he likes first-hand experience, too.
So Despair is gonna take the wheel, then?
As it were, yeah.
All right.
Despair,
Despair-
take the wheel.
She goes ahead and gets in the front of the boat, and Ferris kind of helps you undock it, right? He hops on to help you guys get it out of the docks, but as athletically as he can in his old body, just kind of jumps off as you start to head out and gives you a wave goodbye. That Morin, of course, follows up with his big dopey wave. Bye! And you kind of cast off, and she gets the hang of it pretty quickly, and starts casting off. Not too far, but far enough to where there's going to be at least a decent fish population.
He looks at his glove, and then he looks at his robes. Takes off the robes. He's got his finery underneath, just his basic clothing, just like black, just basically just black with like greenish pants, and he's just like, okay, this'll do. He bundles them up in a safe corner of the boat where it's least wet, and leaves them there, and just gets ready to haul some shit.
All right, so the way this is gonna work is I need you to roll me. So I'm not gonna have you fish for individual fish because that would be an absolute pain. You're going to roll me a d12, which is going to tell me how many you caught that day, and I'm going to have you roll it with disadvantage, given your absolute lack of fishing knowledge.
Hoo boy. Okay, this will be fun. I am using physical dice, like I said before, so you're just going to trust me on this. D12.
That's fine with me.
And you said disadvantage?
Yeah, disadvantage.
No problem. Oh dear. Okay, the highest was a 5. The lowest was a 3.
Okay.
Plus what? Survival, maybe? No, I guess that doesn't count. That'd be for D12.
No, actually...
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I kind of like that, though. Yeah, add survival. Or would it be slightly? Yeah, do survival.
Doesn't help much.
Yeah, we take that. I like that.
I see a fish. Don't know how to get it.
Okay, as you kind of look at what you've caught, you hear, I have to roll for what you did catch, so give me 1 second here. That is actually something that you
oh dear.
on here. So,
oh dear.
You said you caught 6, correct?
That was 6, yeah.
Alright, hold on 1 sec.
Total.
Oh, and I dropped my dice. Ooh, not bad. Oh, see, this is working out. See, that survival check helped you out a lot. Or, yeah, survival. What's that here? What? Oh, dude. Okay, I'm kind of mad that it went this well for you.
After the shit I just rolled, really?
Oh, yeah.
I guess it's not D20 rolls. It's not really success. It's just based on what you've got.
Yeah.
On your little chart there.
It's just, the fact that you got this many.
Maybe I shouldn't be adding survival to this.
No. We'll figure it out.
Alright, cool. We're still new for this, audience. Sorry.
Well, we're not. We're gonna cut this out. We're not leaving this in.
Okay.
I would assume.
Maybe.
Yeah. Bam.
We'll see how it goes.
I mean, I don't see any reason why to cut it out.
They'll probably still enjoy it.
Fair enough. It's up to y'all.
Including this conversation. About whether or not we should leave it in. So now I have to leave it in.
Why? Whatever. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Okay.
What's the damage?
So you kind of look at this. You've been putting them into this bucket, and you spill it out to go ahead and look at which fish you've caught. You have caught a dark fin and a cuda, which are both worth 5 silver each. You also caught. Hold on. Ooh, a Kyara, which is worth 1 gold.
Oh.
And if you take it back to Ferris, you can figure out that it is an uncommon fish, and it will do something for you if consumed. You got another uncommon, the Kingfish, which also gives 1 gold and has an effect that you have to ask Ferris about. And this is the one I was salty about because I rolled a 20 and you caught a godfish, which
Holy
does
shit!
something
That sounds awesome.
Arguably overpowered.
Okay.
And
I'm
it gives
writing
2
all this
gold.
down. Hang on. Sorry, what were the fish?
A dark fin, 5 silver. A cuda, 5 silver. a Chiara, Chaiara. A lot of A's. A kingfish. The Chiara and the kingfish both give 1 gold and then have an effect because they're uncommon. And then the rare was a godfish that gives 2 gold and an unknown effect until you ask. I might have to make that not a D12 roll.
Yeah, no kidding.
Or you could roll 1d100.
Yeah, something like that.
The system me and Black Chain have in our Tuesday campaign when we fish, you roll a survival check. If it's lower, then we get more common fish. If it's higher, then we get more rare fish. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to rework it a little bit, but...
Don't worry. Still, I'm excited.
It's fine for now.
I'm excited about it. I don't know about you.
Yeah, same. Kind of nervous because of the godfish situation.
Oh, that's okay. I still don't know what it does.
Yeah, you will. Anyway, as you kind of are wrapping up, Despair turns the boat around, and it's gotten dark by now. You've been out for quite some time. Well, it's not dark yet. You know, the sky is orange. It's the sun is setting.
Dusky. Yeah, I got you.
Despair would when the fish are like probably killed. Despair would like try to like just hum to herself, like, you know, distract herself because she feels really sad.
Right, she's cringing every time he catches one of these, and on the inside you're feeling upset, and he's just like, "Hey, I got one!"
He's so excited, and you're just,
Alright, you guys pull back up, and as Mortis sees you, he kind of climbs on, and as best he can, using a ladder, and helps you dock the boat.
Yeah,
well,
pull it in.
How did it go? How was your first day?
Not very good. We only caught a few fish, but we found some interestingly colored ones, and I hold up the godfish.
His heart, you can tell, immediately sinks as his expression drops, and his pipe falls out of his mouth.
Awesome. The effect I was hoping for, but didn't know it was going to happen.
My goodness. I see that. And he looks at your basket, and he goes, "Why? That's quite the beginner's luck you've got there." Oh. And he just kind of gives you a playful punch on the shoulder. Do you know what these do?
I can say that I imagine they're, you know, good sushi, but...
Oh, it's more than that, my boy. These waters are not just trade waters. They've got legendary fish that many people think are legends, but I promise you their effects are real.
That would explain why this port city is so popular. Yes,
very much so. He pulls out the this blue and silver fish and points to it. This is a Chiara, and he tells you you can get quite a pretty penny for it if you sell it to the right person around here. And upon cooking and consumption, it'll give you a new feeling. You'll feel like a new man. I'll put it like that. And what it actually does is it gives you a +4 on your charisma just for an hour.
Holy shit, that's gonna be useful.
Yeah. And
the way I've been playing, definitely.
He picks up this yellowish gold fish, and he goes, "This is a kingfish, my boy. Do you know what this does?"
Can't say.
He gets like an excited smile on his face.
But you can see that, and after that first one, you know, Zephyr's eyes are wide. Now he's super excited for the next one. Like me.
These will make you feel well rested, I'll say.
Would one say long rested?
Correct.
Oh, fuck yeah!
However, it does take 1 hour. So after you eat it, after an hour, you've gotten the effects of a long rest. So you can't use it as like a full heal in the middle of battle, like on reaction. But,
that's fucking cool.
Yeah. What else did you catch?
Godfish.
He kind of puts his head in his hands, just looking in awe at the godfish. This completely like shiny gold, like bright. It kind of, even in the setting sun, is sending god rays everywhere. It's just this immaculately bright scaled fish. The godfish, he says to himself. I've been out here fishing for some 30 years, and I've only caught one myself. He just kind of keeps looking at it. What if I take it off of your... Nah, never mind. He kind of looks at
holding
you.
very tightly to it until he tells me what it does.
It'll make you
Despair
feel.
looks over to a moment, and then she cringes, and he just looks away when he's holding it tightly.
In awe over this dead
Like,
fish.
it's already dead, but yeah.
Well, this fish, I tell you, I felt like I got exactly what I wanted when I took it, or when I ate it. What the godfish does.
The way he was describing
It's
it,
gonna
it sounds
give-
like a drug.
A
I want
plus 10 on the skill check of your choice for it. A whole day.
Holy shit! For
For
what?
one-
Or a day?
For one roll?
For a
Holy shit!
oh no, an hour. Excuse
Oh
me.
my god!
I read
That's insane!
it incorrectly.
That is
for an
OP
hour.
as shit. You weren't kidding.
Yeah. And you got it on the first on the first
I
outing.
won't eat any of it.
I'm just gonna throw this out there, dude. Maybe make it a single use or a 3 use, not a full hour.
Oh, it
That's
is.
pretty heavy duty.
It is.
Oh,
so
on
you
any
eat
skill
it
check.
once and it be like that. So you just pick which skill check it is. So when you eat it, you can say for the next hour I want plus 10 on, whatever,
Okay.
investigation, intimidation.
So it's
You
only
pick
on one
which
skill. Okay, that limits options. That makes more sense.
Oh no, yeah. It's not like you just get plus 10 on
I was
everything.
like, holy shit! I gotta fish more.
No. It's on one. It's on one skill for an hour.
Gotcha. Well, too bad we were going out to fish for them. I have to decide which ones I'm keeping here.
Did I give you all 6? I feel like I missed a couple. I gave you.
There were 5 here. Darkfin, Cuda,
oh, yeah.
Kiara, Kingfish, and Godfish.
Oh, and the Taipei. I forgot to mention that.
Taipei?
Yeah. That one's just common, so it's just worth 5 silver.
I mean, I obviously hand over the 5 silver fish, but at this point, I'm looking at Despair and I'm like, vegans. I have to make a decision now. Fuck. I'm thinking.
Wait, what's this?
At this point, I'm thinking, how does charisma work for an owlbear? I think I will. Oh, I don't want to give up any of them because I know Zephyr would give him the fish because
Alright.
it just makes sense.
How many fish do we need to give this guy?
We just said we'd get him some fish.
Yeah, half, I believe so. And you
Half
have
of the fish.
coincidentally
and
3
6.
common fish, so.
I still feel bad though.
Hey, it's on you.
But he's neutral, and like most of my lawful characters, so I'm gonna go ahead and give him the Taipei, Darkfin, and Cuda.
Fair enough. I mean,
All
he does
those
seem like
other
a pretty
cool fish.
easygoing guy.
Yeah,
As
he's
you
a
hand
pretty
him-
cool dude.
As you hand him the fish, he kind of looks at you with a little bit of a frown, but then he smiles.
I'm gonna give him the Kiara too.
No. He
no,
smiles.
it's what Zephyr would do.
Fair enough. He
Charisma.
as you kind of trade them back and give him the Kiara, he gives you a good chuckle. You've had quite the first day fishing. I appreciate
No
it. And
kidding.
he puts his hand out and shakes your hand.
I shake it vigorously. I had no idea the secret would hold such wonders.
Oh, the waters here are elegant. I'll tell you why that should tell you why there's so many people out here. And he kind of puts his hand out, and you just see how many fishing boats and fishermen and people are actually working on the docks.
I do have a clearer idea of why this city is so popular, especially
Yes.
amongst fishermen.
Well, I've got to get back to it. I'm an old man. I've got to get to bed soon.
None of us are getting younger, so have a good night, my friend.
He gives you a smile and just a thumbs up as Morin classically gives you his big dumb wave with both hands this time. Bye-bye!
I give him a wave, but this time it's completely sincere. It's like, yeah, you know what? He's a cool dude.
And as you guys are kind of saying all your goodbyes, Vialis pipes in and just takes his head out of his hand. Are you quite finished yet? I feel like you've been here forever. Can you please go away now?
I'm sorry, my presence is such an offense to you.
Yes,
Well, he's
very
heading out.
offensive, I get it. Please go away. He puts his head back in his hand and just starts, he's just frustratedly gripping it, and you can see, an indentation where he's gripping. He's, seems to be
What crawled
hurting
up
himself
your
almost.
ass?
What did you just say to me?
What crawled up your ass?
I wish Zephyr had some popcorn right now.
He kind of gives you. He opens his eyes for the first time since you guys have seen him. He gives you just a deep scowl. I
Well,
promise that you don't know who you're messing with.
I'm not afraid.
He stands up out of his chair, but as soon as he does, Ferris puts his hand on his shoulder and kind of puts him back down. It's all right. It's all right. Just please. I'm sorry for him, but please be on your way. You don't want to see him when he gets upset. I'm sorry. He's been like this recently. Please. And he just kind of starts whispering to Vialis with this, like, it looks like he's lecturing him almost, as Vialis just kind of gently pushes him out of his way. Whatever! And he just stands up and walks away, flicking his hair on his way out.
Could Despair listen in what he said?
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay, I'm rolling. Oh, I got a 4.
Yeah,
Is Zephyr also listening in?
I am, absolutely. I mean, that's
Hit me
kind of
with
what he
that.
does. He's very, very nosy.
That's true.
Alright, let's see here. Perception? Oh, fuck yeah, that's
yeah.
a +5.
Yeah, you have a
That is... Oh my god, that's a natural 19, so 24. I hear
Okay.
everything. I hear his soul.
You can hear his pores opening.
Oh,
Anyway,
nasty.
as he leans down, he puts his hand on his shoulder and put his mouth near his ear. You can't keep doing this, Vialis. Please! What has happened to you? And that's about when he pushes him out of the way and walks off.
Is Ferris alone?
Ferris? No, Morin is still there, but...
Oh, sorry, so Ferris went after him?
No. They're still at the docks, but Vialis went away. Morin and Ferris are still there.
I will...
And
go-
Morin this whole time just had his head in his hands, like in a very nervous way, like covering his eyes.
I will go step back to Ferris as I watch Vialis walk off, and I will say to him, is this usual for him?
No, not at all. He used to be bitter, mind you. I mean, he came to me kind of lost, you know. He always wanted to be a wizard, and he never shut up about it. And he's always practicing these spells, but to be honest, he just was never that talented, and he didn't make it into any university, and he was always bitter about it, but in the past 2 weeks or so, he's been angry and aggressive. That's a completely different person.
2 weeks, you say?
2 weeks.
Refresh my memory, because I think my notes might be wrong, but wasn't the boy recently, the one that got killed and killed his mom, wasn't he very recently aggressive and agitated?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
I will lean back into Ferris and say, take my word for this. Maybe leave him be for a few days.
What do you mean?
I don't want to say anything if I'm not certain of it, but there is something dangerous about how he's reacting right now.
He's just angry. I don't think he's gonna hurt anyone. He's just been so mad recently. I don't understand.
Even so, for a couple days, just stay away from him for a couple days, and I swear to you I'll come back and fish purely for you for 1 whole day.
May I ask, you seem very suspicious. Do you mind if I ask for more detail, I guess?
What race is this gentleman?
He's human.
Oh, fuck.
He's a human with a long
I was gonna
gray
see if
beard.
I was gonna see if he spoke Elvish. I'll say something in Elvish, or just something subtle, and see if he knows it.
What are you gonna say?
I'm just going to say, maybe it's nothing.
He looks puzzled for a minute, and he thinks, nothing, you say. I'm not much for the elven tongue, but I had a wife once that was an elf.
Indeed. In as simple Elvish as I can, there's just the gist of it will be, we're investigating something that's very dangerous, and it would be safest if you avoided him for now. Maybe
The only thing he really recognizes is investigate. And he just says, well, if you need anything from me, any more questions about Vialis or anything, I don't know how he's related to your investigation, mind you, but You can just ask.
At this time, I'm looking around to see if we're being listened to.
Not really. Everyone's kind of
Okay, good. I'm
Just
just trying to keep this
Everyone's
on the down low,
probably
'cause
looking at Despair.
they definitely were at first, but
you know what?
most people have gotten used to it. But you can see, you can just see four men sitting on their boat, definitely, absolutely looking directly at Despair.
Okay. Well,
kind
at
of
least-
nudging each other on the shoulder. But they're too far to hear anything.
Her being a beacon of attention is actually quite helpful right now. At which point I'll speak in common and I'll just say, we're involved in an investigation on something that's very serious. I can't give you many details. It's not for the public, and I don't want to cause a panic, but perhaps leave him alone for a few days. We've had attacks, some sort of disease that causes people to attack people at random. We're doing our best to deal with the problem. But I urge you not to speak of this to anyone else unless you see someone acting in a particularly violent way.
You're talking about Delic and Ferelin, are you?
Yes, indeed.
I don't know why I got an accent all of a sudden.
It's okay.
He kind of looks at you puzzled. You don't think Vialis? And he just kind of sits back in his chair, looking nervous. Is the same thing going to happen?
It's not a certainty, it's only a suspicion, and I don't want to raise an alarm, but has he met with anyone in the last 2 weeks?
He's been...
Someone new, someone unusual.
Well, I think so. I kept asking, but, Vialis, he doesn't like to tell me any details, but about 2 weeks ago was when he started, acting this way. But before that, about a month maybe, he was more absent. He kept leaving and just wouldn't tell me where he was going, and the only detail I got out of him is he said he was working on his spells, which didn't strike me as very weird. He loves working on his spells, but hasn't had very much success. But he almost seemed happier for a little bit. I thought maybe he was finding something out. Until that day. He got very angry with Morin, and that's when it started, about 2 weeks ago. He just started screaming at Morin, and he doesn't like Morin very... He's my sweet boy. He's just very simple, but one day Morin was being Morin, and Vialis got in his face, and he grabbed him by the neck and just started screaming at him. And Morin, you can see it's just straight up gone to, sat on the floor with his head in his knees, just crying.
At this point, Zephyr's going to say, did he mention meeting someone, or it might have been something very absent-mindedly. Maybe he was just speaking to himself, but did he ever say anything about being touched by any sort of blood or anything along those lines? Or you mentioned he was casting spells. Did they involve blood at all?
I wouldn't really know specifically. I never really asked about his work. It did seem to me like he was going out to meet someone. He kept leaving and coming back at long hours of the night. And I know he likes to spend his time alone, but... Excuse me?
Sorry, after you.
No, go right ahead.
Which direction was he heading in when he made these sneak-off moments?
Well, towards the Therum district is all I really know.
Does he have business in the Therum district generally?
Not usually, but it definitely
seems like very out of character.
Oh, absolutely. Just out of nowhere, he started leaving, and he would go to the Therum district. He doesn't really spend too much time there. He maybe went to the library once or twice, but I mean, he doesn't have the money, mind you, to be there that often. And I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Does he usually use his spells in the library, or is this something new for him? I don't imagine he'd spend a lot of money to practice magic if he can do it in the privacy of his home.
Well, he liked to study,
Okay, well...
Maybe he caught the asshole sickness.
Zephyr is surprisingly proud of that statement. Like,
his grim expression goes to his grim expression goes to a slight smile. He's always had that, and he goes back to his expression from before. It's gotten worse. It's gotten much worse.
In any case, if you think of anything, I give him the location of the tavern I'm staying at. you can see me there or leave a note. If you have any information that regarding this in the future, please let us know.
Yes, absolutely.
It would help our investigation greatly.
You got it. He takes the note from you and just gives you a nod. Well, thank you for everything, and I'll be of help in any way. And if you need to find me, I'm always here.
Of course. Just keep a wary eye.
He goes over to Morin and kind of kneels down next to him and pats him on the back. Let's go, Morin. Let's go. And he gets him to stand up as he's still kind of got his head in his hands and his shoulders down as they walk away. He gives you one final wave.
Before you go, I have
that?
one more question. Where exactly in the city does Vialis live?
Oh, he spends a lot of his time in at the inn when he can't afford a place, but when there is one, yeah, he lives over by me. There's a couple of houses not too far from the docks, and he kind of points south from the docks that mostly fishermen live in, but we can't always afford a place, and he doesn't like to live with us all the time, so...
Fair enough. Thank you for your information. I'll be on our way now.
He just gives you a final wave as he turns back around, patting Morin to instruct him to go forward.
That was a very informative moment. I didn't
Indeed.
expect to find information at the docks, but here we are.
Well, we have one thing in mind.
A very cool fish.
Despair
That's funny
gives Zephyr a very intimidating look.
Zephyr sort of cows down and he's like, yes, sorry.
And then Despair will just say, we do know one thing for certain. It's a person that causing this.
We know it's at least spreading through the person. It may be the same person that contacted Farron before, and maybe, if only he was alive, we could talk to him, get more information, but...
Wait, who? Who are you talking about?
The boy. What was his name?
Okay.
Farron?
Daylight, I believe.
Delic, yeah.
Delic, sorry. My bad.
Farrellyn was the woman.
Oh,
That's why you were
right, sorry.
confused.
If only they were alive, we could have questioned them more, but the guard kind of saw to that. Well, we have information. That's more than we had before, and we have a lead. Is Vialis... the direction that Vialis walked off in, do we see a clear route there? Like, if we were trying to track him, would we be able to? I guess that would be an attempt.
Go ahead and roll me... No, I can just tell you. He's not living with them right now. He's been at the inn. Yeah,
Okay.
he's been staying at the inn for some time.
Yeah, that's what I checked with Ferris. Anyway, in that case, I'll turn to Despair. To the inn, perhaps? Or should we leave this for now?
He wouldn't want to talk to us, but maybe we should go to that direction he sometimes goes.
Indeed.
That direction is just generally the Therum district.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the whole upper crust area, like the...
Yeah, it's pretty vague info. He just knows he was leaving the common part of town and going to the Therum district, which is pretty unusual for him.
It's basically Walden, Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Well, we should go over to that district then.
It's a big district. He could be anywhere, but perhaps to the library? I did have some business there. If you...
Sure.
If
It's
it wouldn't bother you too
better
much.
than fishing.
Yes, I won't force you to do that again. Sorry about that.
It's fine.
I pat the owlbear and head towards the Therum district.
All right. You guys are... you guys are at the library, correct?
Audience, if you've never seen them, owlbears are the fucking cutest thing in the universe.
Oh, big time until they murder you.
Oh yeah, totally. The
Yeah.
big ones are the scary ones. The little ones are fucking adorable.
Oh
I've only
yeah,
ever
the
seen a
big
big
ones. Oh,
The big ones
that
tear
game.
paladins apart.
Yeah.
I'm still salty about that. Anyway,
Google baby owlbear. I am not disappointed. That is the cutest thing I've ever witnessed in my
it's
life.
fucking cute.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys are headed to the library, correct?
I'll probably put up a picture of the owlbear there when we were talking about it, just so that people can understand. to
Right.
cuteness.
You guys are headed to the library then?
Yes, indeed.
All right. Let me scroll to my library notes. Okay. All right. So, you spent kind of a long time fishing and at the docks with Ferris and Morin and Vialis. But now the sun has pretty much set. It's gotten decently dark. However, the library is pretty much always open, and you walk in and there's a nice bell sound. It looks pretty small from the outside, but from the first step, it's pretty clear that it has a pretty vast collection of books, with two large sprawling shelves entirely covering the walls from the floor to the ceiling. You see a sweet old halfling woman at this kind of raised desk that almost seems to be on top of a pile of books and clutter. She's a halfling woman with these large, circular, thick glasses that she kind of has to squint through constantly. You can't see her eyes at all. And she's just kind of sitting there writing in a book.
Zephyr is at the entrance, and he just takes a deep breath and enjoys that smell of ink and paper. And then starts walking towards the front desk and says, "Hail!"
Oh, my goodness. Sorry, you scared me.
Sorry.
What can I do for you?
Right. I'm actually looking for books on the unexplained diseases. It's sort of a medical history.
Wait. Hold on. And she looks at your pack and kind of reaches out her short. Is that blood of the old gods you've got there?
It may be. What
By Fora Metz?
Pardon me, I couldn't hear that.
She said, by Fora Metz? And she's just kind of like eyeing at the book.
By Fora Metz.
Oh my goodness! She has like a really excited scream about it. Kind of puts fists on the table.
It's not an original copy, but it is definitely one of my...
Still, that's quite impressive.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked. What can I do?
Is there a book behind the counter there?
What do you mean? Like she's reading?
That she's reading specifically.
Yeah.
Or is it like just a ledger?
Yeah, she's reading a book.
Okay, I'm gonna like start chatting her up about that. I don't know the books in this world, so I'm just gonna take your word for it. You know, I'm trying to build a rapport with this woman, and I'm not a bookish person in reality, so we're gonna have to work with this.
The book that she's reading is called The Tiefling Strife by Moritz Wiest.
What kind of genre is that?
It is non-fiction. It's kind of a study on tieflings and their place in society.
So sort of dry history, like cultural history sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Despair is a tiefling!
Yeah, there you go.
True that.
Zephyr will lean over and point to the author's name and say, "This is a bit of a comprehensive history of the tiefling culture, etc., etc." And sort of just trying to build a reputation with this person so that he can have access to the library later with sort of, more dubious concerns.
Right.
He's basically just trying to make friends.
She's just looking at you, like, kind of with glee that you even... She's reading, because...
Awesome.
Well, people kind of visit her library. Book readers.
Yeah, it's not like... It's not like Zephyr. Zephyr's a fucking bookish maniac. Anyway, at which point he's going to say, "Yes, of course, sorry, I got sidetracked. It was very interesting."
Same. What can I do for you?
Yes, I'm looking for books on medical knowledge. Not the usuals, how to take care of a burn or something like that, but something a bit more comprehensive on unexplained diseases and phenomena.
You're not the first person to come in here asking about that, and I know what you're looking for. But
surprising. What do you mean by that?
I know that you're trying to figure out what happened about the boy and his mom, Delic and Farrellin.
I think for a moment and say, "What's an alchemist with explosives around here?"
She gives you like a smirk and just nods at you. You know him, do you?
Yes, we've met. Yes, I was actually quite interested in taking a look at the books that he checked out, but also one other thing, a study of a bestiary on beasts that concern blood, vampires and such, creatures that use blood for various reasons. I know it's a broad subject, but I'm looking for anything with regard to blood and creatures. I would kind of want to cross reference those two categories.
She puts her fingers to her chin and sort of cartoonish way. Ah,
there you go.
am I good? Am I back?
Yeah, you're good. Also, the owlbear will scuttle up to the desk and he will go like wanting pets. Like,
oh, gladly. Zephyr immediately starts petting him.
And as she's talking, without paying, almost without even paying attention, looking at she talks, she reaches her hand out and pets the owlbear, but kind of behind. She puts her fingers in it. Well, I'm not really sure I've got quite the collection, as you can see, but I'll tell you what. You come back here tomorrow, I'll tell you if I found anything, okay?
Very well. I think we can wait that long. That shouldn't be a problem. I'm just very anxious to start researching. This is a very
I understand. I've got so many books here I can't off the top of my head at least. But
of course.
What I can do is search. I am, and she looks down at her desk where there's a clutter of books and papers and just a ton of things. It doesn't look like I'm organized, but I'm quite organized.
Okay,
she gives you a chuckle and pulls over another book and stacks it kind of next to her, like she's going to read that one next. Anything else I can do for you?
No, that's actually quite more than enough. That's a spectacular amount of help that you've been, and I appreciate everything that you've been doing.
Thank you.
Especially maintaining such a vast library.
She kind of blushes and gives you an "oh, stop" motion with her hands. Well, thank you.
Really
You've got quite a little collection there yourself. Points her finger at you.
It will never be large enough.
True that. Oh, even with all these books, I feel like I've got hardly any sometimes.
Of course. Well, have a wonderful night. I'm going to leave you to your work.
Why, thank you very much. And without even a second of pause, she kind of spins around in her chair, kind of just looking right back at her book with her pencil toward it, ready to make notes, as she's just got a big smile on her face.
The moment the conversation with her is over, Zephyr's fucking just hugging the owlbear. He's never seen an animal that cute. Like, fuck. Seriously, I'm gonna put up the picture again. Like, goddamn. Oh, it's so cute. In any case, at that point, Zephyr, satisfied with the day's progress, he's going to look at Despair and say, "Drinks are on me tonight. We've made a bit of a breakthrough."
Yes. Let's.
And I head out of the library.
Does that mean you guys are headed to a ball?
Fuck yes!
Alright then.
Zephyr needs to get shit-faced. He saw someone die in the last couple of days. He's not used to that shit. He's
True
usually
that.
the one stopping
true.
that.
Hold on one schmeckin'. Okay. Alright, so you guys are gonna go to the bar. Tavern. Well,
Fuck
I guess in this case it is technically a tap house, but...
Ooh.
Yeah.
Good vernacular.
Thank you very much. I got it from the start edition of Dungeons and Dragons.
That works. Hey, you retained it. That's what matters.
You walk by, and as you're walking there, you kind of notice it's right next to this. Oh my god! I thought I had my notes up.
It's okay. Take your time.
Oh yeah. You walk past, and you see this building with no sign on it. Right? You see the tap house clear.
Well, that's how you know it's a good bar.
No, it's not. It's the building next to it, I'm saying.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Catches your eye. The tap house is very clearly marked, and there's even tables outside on the deck and people drinking out there. And it's got plenty of light coming from out of it and plenty of noise as well, so you can tell that it's definitely a tap house. But next to it is this building that looks kind of subtle. You know, the only thing outside is a sign that has no words on it. It just has kind of a little logo that has talons, like eagle's talons. And some sort of material around them that you can't quite tell what it is. As you walk past that, you kind of go up the steps to the bar and are instantly... No, they're not real. Okay. It's like a wooden carved-out sign. Oh, that would be pretty triggering for Despair if it was just straight up eagle talons hanging from this building.
Yeah.
But You guys walk up, and as soon as you step up the stairs, you can hear the lively and upbeat mood of the bar, and just hear glasses clanking, drinks being poured. It's a pretty popular location.
Sweet.
And you see at the head of the bar, or the tap house, this tall, muscular, like overly muscular, well-dressed human gentleman who's wearing a vest and a dress shirt and a tie and the whole manner, and it's just sitting there kind of cleaning out a glass up and gives you a polite smile. Hello there.
Hello, my friend. Keeper
What can I do for you? Haha, that's who I am. What can I do for you, my friends? I haven't seen you around here very much.
Exactly the man I needed to see. Wine for me and for Despair. What would you like? It's on me.
I'll have some ale.
Some ale
for the lady, the tallest you have.
You got it. I'll give you the best I've got. He gives you a quick wink and kind of notices that she's well dressed and looks like he regrets winking at her. And kind of turns his attention back to.
Suddenly he feels like a creeper, but everyone else is like, duh.
He turns his attention back to Zephyr. And what did you say you wanted to drink?
Wine for me. Elvish if you have it.
Yeah, we don't got a lot of people drinking elvish wine around.
Yes, well,
A mocking gesture.
I still miss homeland, unfortunately.
No, I understand. Well, we can help you with that. Give me just a moment. And he kind of yells back, indistinctly, kind of for one of his people to get to work with, kind of this code that they have going on. And you see people get to work pouring drinks in the back, and he reaches his hands back without looking and just kind of slams them back up on the table for you. There you go.
Thank you very much. And I slide the ale over to Despair, and then realize how heavy the glass is. Just shove. I shove.
Despair takes the glass, and she starts just, like, chugging it.
Yeah.
Zephyr unexpectedly, just sort of half toast, says, right, and starts chugging it. Trying to keep up.
Chugging is wild.
He's a fucking prissy boy, what'd you expect?
And Despair just, like, slams the glass on the table. Not too hard, but she's just like, ah.
Zephyr absolutely slams it too hard. Probably shatters the glass.
As he's watching Despair,
he's not used to this.
The bartender kind of just claps his hands and cheers her on. Then he gives you a slight chuckle as you kind of, with your pinky out and everything, just tilt the wine glass in and chug it down and weakly slam it on the table. He gives you a nice little chuckle. Well, if you need anything else from me, I'm always right up here.
Well, as it
My name is, and he puts his hand up. My name is Godwin Chalice.
Godwin?
It's nice to meet you.
With a W-I-N, I assume?
Gordun. Gordwin. Or
gotcha.
Gorduin, I guess depending on how you want to say it.
Gordon. I don't know.
Chalice is his last name, Chalice.
Chalice. Kind of like Chalice, but a bit more SH rather than CH. Gotcha.
Chalice.
Yo.
At which point I say, as it happens, I do have something for you. A bit of a job. I have 2 fish here that I need prepared very carefully and salted afterwards for storage.
So you're telling me, right? And he kind of looks at his friends as they're pulling over. You went to the docks and you got some fish, right?
Yeah.
You passed by the fish market and you came down here asking me to cook them. Is that right?
Yep.
They all kind of laugh and just kind of nudge shoulders with each other. Well, I do serve food here, but you would have had down there, I assume. I'm not much for cooking fish, but it's a popular dish around here, just more by the docks, I would say. And he kind of puts his hands out and...
I'm not going to lie, I don't drink much, I probably won't make it back after this.
He gives you a chuckle and punches your arm, probably a little too hard, but playful. Puts his hands out, ready to accept the fish. I'll see what I can do.
I carefully hand him the godfish.
All right.
Not the goldfish. Godfish.
As you hand it to him, you can see his eyes, widen a little bit.
I bet you're happy to be cooking it now.
You want me to... Excuse me. I'm not really much of an angler myself, but even I know a godfish when I see one. Are you sure you want to trust me cooking this up?
Oh, what, Gordwin? What, Gordwin? Would you take it for yourself? And I'm standing right here.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm thinking about it myself, but that's not what I mean, man.
I slide a gold piece over the table.
Fair enough. He kind of instantly scoops up the gold piece without even looking and
I say-
calls back to the chef, banging. What were you gonna say?
I say, call it insurance.
He gives you a laugh and points back at you as he walks. I see you. I'll let you know real quick when I'm done.
I like these people.
He walks
So-
back to the kitchen.
Yeah. During this time, Despair would just, like, look around the bar. Like, is there any, like, strong people around here?
I was hoping you'd say that.
Very much so. No, I can't. Yes, I'll say yes. There is. There's. In fact, to your left is a group of men that seem to be adventurers. They've got scars and cuts all over their body, and all have their shirts off, and they're just kind of talking jovially as they clink glasses and drink.
Does any of them look particularly muscular?
All of them.
All of them. Got it. So,
Awesome.
Despair will walk over to the group.
Completely
And-
naked, might I remind.
Yep. And she'll just say, "Hello there. Would you like to have an arm wrestle?"
And and he kind of spits out his drink a little bit. Stool and notices that. Notices your attire.
Or lack of.
Yeah, he looks down and kind of is still speaking at you without at all looking. An arm wrestle, you say? That's some big words for such a little tiefling, isn't it?
6'4".
Little.
Wait, what did you say?
She's 6'4".
Well, yeah, but
But yeah, she just said little.
she's a woman, and he's maybe a little bit sexist.
Oof. Okay. So Despair will just say, "How about we bet some gold for this arm wrestle? What do you
So-
say?"
That's some. What were you
Zephyr
gonna say?
leans over the catter to Gordwin and says, "Watch this."
You've got gold on you, do you? Well, how much are you willing to lose?
2
I
golds
think
on the
it's
lady.
Jesus.
Two gold, you say? All right. And his men just kind of laugh, and hey, you know what? I'll put 2 down on that. One of them says and points.
All right.
Well,
What about
you? Can make
you?
bets too.
You gonna put any in?
I'm just keen to make some money back. You're massive.
I'll
You're
say
not gonna lose.
5 gold.
Oh shit!
They all just kind of like his buddies kind of go oh, and a little bit nervous now. All right, you said 5 gold. All right, and he kind of turns around and looks at his buddies cheering him on as they kind of pat him on the back, and he gets his confidence back and slams his elbow down on the table, putting his arm. Let's do it then.
Sure. And she puts up her arm as well.
Okay.
Are you rolling athletics?
I was gonna say just strength straight up, but
Oh
athletics.
fuck yeah! Either or. I guess
Let's do
athletics is more running and jumping. Strength would probably be based down or something.
yeah,
like
let's do a strength roll. So just like
19!
Holy fuck! Is that with your
I
modifier?
can even, okay, so I got a 16 plus 3, just my
Oh my
strength, and I
god,
got
you're
19.
massive.
oh my goodness. Okay.
We're level 3, by the way, guys. This is just her. This is. She has not taken steroids yet.
Okay, as you guys kind of look at each other mockingly, I guess intimidatingly. You've got a smirk on your face, and he's got a smirk on his as you lock fingers. All right, you ready then? As one of his buddies like taps on the table as you begin to go, and almost immediately, like his hand starts to go down as his buddies are like screaming behind him and just laughing at him as you just slam his hand to the table with minimal effort, and they're kind of he's got like he's rubbing his arm, right? He's got his hand in his just kind of circulating, and he goes, all right, as his friends are kind of going wild. Eventually, the teasing gets to him enough. He just kind of slams the money down. He slams his 5 gold on the table and walks away and leaves the building.
I lift up the 2 coins in my hand, forgetting something. And And I wait patiently with my hand out.
He goes, all right, relax, all right. I have to go back and I owe you, all right?
Owe me what?
No, he owes...
can I insight check him to see if he has, like... Can I tell if he is, like, bullshitting me, like he has the cash but he's not willing to part with it?
Yeah, you can insight check that.
That's a
oh
plus
my God,
5
plus
for
5.
me. Here we go. Hang on one sec. Oh god, that's 19 total.
As he walks away, you can literally hear the clunk.
Not so fast. How about we make it interesting? You pay it to me right now with that coin that I can hear in your pocket, and I'll arm wrestle you. And if I lose, I'll pay double. If I lose, I'll pay double. But if you lose, you pay that right now to me and double.
He looks at the kind of scrawny appearing hat. You don't appear as swole as you are. He kind of looks...
I'm pale as fuck, yo.
His embarrassed smile kind of curls back up. All right, then. I'll take you on for that one. Make a little bit of my money back on this little shrimp. And they all kind of... His buddies are kind of back on his side already, cheering for him again.
While I walk up to the table...
Bear will put down 2 gold.
Just looking at my spells really quick. I'm just looking at something really quick. No, that'll kill him. Fuck, I can't do that.
I was gonna try to spell
I was thinking inflict wounds, but I'm not doing that. That'll kill him.
Inflict wounds?
I just want to see what I can do, but I think bless is only saving throws and attack rolls, so that won't count. So I'll just go up with my basic arms out and just
raw strength. They're not going to finesse him in any way.
I'm no, fuck it. I'm just gonna do raw strength.
All right,
I'm +2. I'm okay.
He slams his elbow back down on the table and is kind of fanning his fingers out in a little bit of a taunting way as he stretches his hand. Let's do it then!
At which point I pull off the robe and expose my muscles and I lean my arm down and I say, okay, let's do this.
And his buddies at this point are just jumping, like they're going wild and kind of tackling each other with excitement. He's just got this... What?
I would like to light up the glove I'm using against him.
They're losing their minds at this point, and you guys have kind of caught the attention of the whole bar as they're circling around.
And I look at the friends and I say, you can bet too. And I grasp his hand and I give it a very tight squeeze.
The friends are very tentative to put down any money at this point.
Yeah, I figured.
All right, hit it up.
I better succeed in this or I'm gonna feel like shit. Is this a strength roll?
Yeah, raw strength.
That's a natural fucking 20. Oh my god, that was beautiful!
Okay, everyone's
so
kind of going absolutely nuts, and then as soon as you guys lock hands, it quiets down a little bit, almost with anticipation. And you guys grab each other's hands, and he goes, alright, you ready? And you kind of nod your head. And as soon as it starts... I'm
staring dead into his eyes, like no emotion.
With almost zero effort, with a cocky smile on your face. Not only do you slam his hand down with just an instant, it knocks onto his mug, glass mug, and just shatters it into his hand. As he screams out, as all of his buddies are kind of pointing and laughing at him, as he just takes out a sack of money and slams it on the table and just runs out, holding his hand.
Before he runs out, as I have my hand on him, is he bleeding?
Yes.
Yeah, I cast Cure Wounds.
Okay. All right. So
I'm not a dick. I'm not going to let him go with a bloody hand. So that's a lot of health, way more than he needs.
He kind of wags his hand off and watches the wounds heal and just turns his head at you and doesn't give you a nod of appreciation, just kind of runs out.
I do just give him a wink. And then I collect my cash. How much was that? 4 total?
Yes.
Oh, that was so worth it. Like, that was not much money in total, like, but it was so worth it.
Oh, no, I agree.
Oh, God, yeah.
That was dope. Oh, man. All right, guys. After that, what's your next move?
I'm going to use my newly earned funds to spend on our drinking bill.
All right. Okay, yeah. Just you guys haven't really gotten a mug each. It just costs a silver piece.
Oh fuck! I'll spend 8 silver this night spending money on our alcohol.
All right,
because
then.
I feel good.
Are you just out here like buying and drinking round after round?
Round after round, trying to keep up with her.
I'm gonna need a Constitution save from both of you.
Oh boy, not my forte.
Oh, oh my God!
Natural one.
Oh.
Oh, I'm out.
Like a light.
At least I left the money on the
21.
counter. Oh my god! I had no chance.
What was the spares roll?
So her roll is an 18 plus 3, so it's
Holy
21.
shit! I have a +1 to Constitution, but it would not save me in that circumstance.
So as this night goes on, you guys are quite popular, obviously, after your antics with the other men. And at first, everyone's kind of encouraging you both to drink, but not too far in. Zephyr's head on the table,
yeah, just
unconscious, and
out like a light.
But Despair is legit. I mean, like effortlessly drinking ale after ale, vodka after vodka, like it's water. As the men are just losing their minds with how much she is actually drinking. And at a certain point, they begin paying for her drinks just to see if she can have more, and she absolutely does with flawlessly.
Drinks them all under the table. I guess I end up sleeping on that counter because I'm kind of stuck there.
Unless big, strong Despair wants to take you to your bed and tuck you in.
She doesn't know where I live.
Oh, that is true.
I'm in a random bar with mostly strangers, and Despair is the only person I know.
Well, Despair, what do you want to do about that, man?
I'm wasted as shit, so...
The owl bear will just, like, bump its head on, like, Zephyr.
I'm
like,
still unconscious.
Oh, no, he's out. He's not waking up to no owl bear.
I'm drunk unconscious, not sleeping unconscious.
Yeah, I know. Like,
but that's adorable.
The owl bear wouldn't know that, though.
Oh, he's so cute.
Yeah. So, Despair is just like, aha! Give me another one! Give me another drink.
Oh,
everyone cheers again, on like just amazed that you're still going, and someone else
like
says, "On me!" and just kind of pays for it. You say it.
Oh, I like this town.
Yep, and she just chugs the drink.
And they go wild again, and they're just like tapping on each other. All of them have given up trying to follow drinks at this point, but they're still excited for you.
Yeah, I think Despair at this point would feel a little bit more stuffed.
Yeah.
I would hope so, unless she is an absolute monster.
She's gonna take a monster piss after this.
Oh god.
But
what's the move? What's she gonna do with your buddy?
I mean, she can practically carry me in one arm. Like, this is not a big problem.
Yeah.
Despair will, like, poke Zephyr's cheek.
You hear him
as
go.
You poke him. Yeah, you poke him, you just see a little bit of drool.
Oh,
nothing else.
That is worst. Oh.
Well,
if his family could see him now.
Despair would sadly keep in mind about fish, and she would ask the bartender, "Are they done?"
Good call.
I was really hoping you guys would forget him.
Yeah, I was about to, honestly. I had already forgotten about the godfish, so I'm so glad you kept that in mind.
He says, "Yeah, it's been done. I just wanted to finish."
Looking at it.
Understand.
on a plate that he already plated it. Well, I put it on a plate with all pokes you on the face for this one to eat up, but doesn't look like he's very hungry right now. He says, like right next to his face.
Is there any way we can serve this?
What's that?
Well, it should be salted. I did ask for it to be salted.
Yeah, it's salted.
So it'll last a while.
Yeah. You want a little to-go box, do you? And he just kind of puts a little bag on the table and opens it up for you.
I like this guy.
Yes.
And he kind of notices that you have no interest in touching the fish and goes, "Oh, I got you." And he just puts it in the bag. "For the lady." And he puts it up. "I've got business to do, but please do come back if you and this, and he lifts up your lip. Little Zephyr wants to get anything else from me. Have a good day."
I don't know if you can understand it, but he is spouting draconic curses under his breath while unconscious. He's just like,
Everybody gets a pretty good kick out of that, and everyone's just watching and laughing.
Despair will pick Zephyr up and hoist him over her shoulder, like holding him like by his
fireman
back.
carry?
Yeah.
Oh, I vomit behind you.
Well, as you guys are walking out, people are kind of
Transport.
patting you guys on the back and stuff, but everyone backs off. As soon as
I
you
vomit
vomit.
more
and
shit.
Despair would also take the bag.
Everyone wants nothing to do with that.
Yeah. Despair doesn't really give a fuck about the puking. She just continues on.
I mean, it's not like you
Where
have
you
any
headed?
clothing to clean.
Yeah.
That is true.
Oof.
So she's looking around to see if she can get a tavern.
My internet keeps cutting. Get away.
It's okay. The audio is capturing a bit of cutting, but I think the audience will manage.
I think they'll survive. You
The
said
gist
she's
is
looking
clear.
for an inn, I'm assuming? You said she's looking for an inn, I would assume?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, you, head back to, I forgot what the name was, so let me scroll. Oh, I didn't even name it. Whatever. You head back to the inn, and, you see Persephone there, looking pretty tired.
The Broken Barrel Inn. Yeah. There you go.
Ooh, the Broken Barrel Inn. You see Persephone with her chin kind of in her hand. She's pretty tired at the desk, almost falling asleep. But you walk in and she perks up. Oh, hello. What can I do for you? That's not her accent.
Okay.
Hello. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a room.
And she
That might belong to the drunkard.
she kind of hears Zephyr babble a little bit. Well, that wasn't quite English, or that wasn't quite common, but I think I understood that. Is that Zephyr?
Yes.
She kind of laughs. I think I've got my answer. I assume that you're taking him back to his room.
Yes.
I got you. And she kind of pats him on the drunken head and leads the way, opening the door. After you.
Muffins.
Good night, Zephyr.
And
She just closes the door for you guys and walks away.
I just realized the image that we're producing here for people around the tavern. Giant naked woman carrying Zephyr up the street and then closing the door behind them.
Well, to be fair,
Oh my God.
that's true. But to be fair, Persephone doesn't necessarily have an image that so much as
Good point.
just an audible.
Yep. So, Despair will walk to Zephyr's bed, and he will flip him onto his back onto the bed, not very gracefully. And
Wait, real
she's
quick,
like-
can you roll me a Constitution again?
Oh shit. Okay, here we go.
Oh no! Me?
Oh god, there's another one!
Are you serious?
Oh my god, no!
Okay,
Not
well,
on the sheets!
yeah, as you toss him on the bed, he immediately nice vomit. That
I've slept and puked before, like, that's not fun.
that kind of coaxes you to tilt him forward, drown on himself, tilt him on his side as he's laying there, vomit covered in bed.
Oh,
Despair just pats his back.
nasty.
like- He'll deal with it in the morning. He
Ear
tucks him
burps. You know, those uncomfortable, way too much alcohol burps, you know, the ones that just, like,
Yeah.
acidic. Ugh.
As you guys are I guess not as you guys, as Despair is kind of sitting there, tucking you. He here's a light knock at the door.
And then Despair perks up, and then she walks over to the door. The owlbear is still just staring at Zephyr with probably this concerned look, maybe thinking that he's dying.
Just
He's
nudging
like-
it with the beak.
Yeah. like I think maybe his hand would like be like over like the bed, and like it
Aww.
would be like bumping
Aw.
his head onto his hand.
That's the cutest
Like,
fucking
oh.
creature in the universe. Throw the
Yeah.
picture up again.
Throw it up.
Hell yeah.
Literally. Never mind.
Ah!
But yeah.
Don't remind
Anyway, Despair would walk over to the door, and she would. Is there people?
No.
Okay, so she just opened the door.
As you kind of crack it open, sorry to disturb you. and it's Persephone just sitting there, or standing there. Excuse me. I was
Oh,
just
hello.
wondering. I know that Zephyr here was staying alone the past couple of days. I didn't know if you needed a room of your own.
I mean, I think it's okay to stay in his room, right?
I'm
She
sure he
kinda,
wouldn't
tilts
mind.
her head.
I'm
He's quite the
unconscious.
kind person. He's quite the kind person. I just wanted to know if you'd be comfortable with it.
I'm sure he's comfortable with it.
Well, okay. Well, if you could do me a favor, and she kind of pulls from behind her back a little rose that just has a note on it. Just give this to him when he wakes up, please.
Alright,
Aw.
and she takes
Good
it.
night. And she closes the door and just goes back. You can hear her walk away.
Despair immediately reads it.
It is in surprisingly good handwriting for lack of sight, and it just says in a nice cursive common, "Get well soon."
Aw, that's sweet.
And then she puts it down somewhere far from puking range.
Good
And then
choice. Because I'm
she,
not done yet.
Yep. And then she like sits in a corner and then she dozes off.
Oh, ooh, I hurt my finger while I spoke. Oh,
Ouch!
that hurts so bad. Okay,
What happened?
no, I can't even explain it. I'm just like tinkering with a toy, and I my fingernail's super hard.
What did we learn?
Ouch!
I've learned that I'm going to continue doing it this whole time.
There you go. Good man.
Anyway, you kind of doze off to sleep as Zephyr is out like an absolute light. Vomits a couple more times during the night, but
Halfway into the night, you'll start hearing him humming under his breath as he's unconscious. Something, I don't know if you can speak it, but in Sylvan.
Despair wouldn't understand.
Okay, to
She
you
only
it's
knows common
gibberish.
info.
To you it's gibberish, but it's clearly a song. It's a very gentle, almost like a lullaby.
okay then.
I got stuff for you to read later.
Oh, I'm in. Go ahead and give me a Constitution.
Oh
roll.
shit, here we go again.
I,
Okay, knowing my luck, and I do not have good luck, but
No more
knowing my
ones.
luck, this is gonna be another fucking one.
no more ones.
No more ones. It's not a 1. It's a
Hey.
19.
Oh, okay.
So 20.
All right. So the next morning, Despair wakes up far before you do, and she's just kind of sitting there. I would assume just playing with her owlbear, waiting for you to wake up.
Yeah, she would probably also feed it.
Yeah, feeding her owlbear and just kind of sitting, waiting for you. And you wake up decently early. You're not completely out like you like. It seemed like you would have been, and you wake up and you're feeling pretty good. You're a little buzzed still, but you're feeling okay.
Yeah,
Not
he's covered in puke.
Well, pretty good mentally. You're a little physically disgusting.
Yeah. The moment he wakes up, he's gonna be like, ah! And check for his gloves, and he's like, ah,
Yeah, they are covered, my guy.
ah. Is there like a basin of water or something in this room?
Did you bring your books with you?
Absolutely, I did, and that means they're also covered in crap.
Yep.
Oh, it hurts.
And
Thank God they're leather bound. Oh.
Thank God I paid extra.
Zephyr is going to realize this in 3, 2, 1. He rolls over and goes, ah! Ah! Like he's just had his leg cut off. And starts checking them like religiously, and then realizing his hands are still dirty, so he's gonna look around wildly for cloth or a wash basin or anything.
In the bag that Gordwin put the fish in, there's a couple napkins that he put in there for you.
Dives for those, wipes his hands off, checks grabs the tome out of the pool that is forming on the floor, and immediately takes it over to the desk, flips through it, and realizes, is it safe or damaged? Should I roll for that? Above a 20 it's damaged, below a 20 it's fine, or whatever.
That sounds good to me. I'm fine with that.
Oh no, they're damaged, but only just barely.
Yeah, so you look in there. There are still everything's still readable, but there is a nice vomit tinge to them now.
When did
Despair
tieflings
just
learn to
looks
drink
over
like
to
that? He's saying this. This is not me speaking. But yeah, and then he's going to realize he's not alone. He's going to be like, ah!
Hi.
Quite a night. And I'm
The owlbear will just will like, whoo, whoo, like they're really happy that you're alive.
yeah, looking down at his clothes, he's like, I've got some laundry to do.
You do have a lot of cleaning to do, but if you were naked, you wouldn't have to deal with it.
Despair is also covered in vomit, despite the
Oh, really?
Well, he was on your back.
I just barely touched you on your back, I guess, but ugh.
You're not out here covered, but you've got some.
You've got a splash.
Yeah.
He's doused.
Yeah, so
at which point
Despair would just be like, we should probably head to the bathhouse after this.
Zephyr looks around and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna leave this as is. He's going to reach into his coin purse and take out 5 gold for the amount of damage he's done to the place. Which is about what I was expecting to spend in the first place on alcohol, so that works out.
Yeah.
And he's going to leave it on the table, the desk, with a "I'm so sorry" note. Next to the
she's
flower.
there. Oh, on the desk of that room.
Yeah. And at which point he's going to grab like his overcoat so the laundry's not fucking obvious, and be like, I'm glad I'm not in my family's home right now because I would never have been able to have that much fun.
Really?
Yes. And he pats you on the shoulder and starts walking out the room.
Oh, he's growing up. He's starting to like people.
It's not that he didn't like people, it's that he was really bored.
My boy. As you guys walk out, Persephone's still at the table, wide awake, and she was cleaning some things, but now she's at the desk, kind of just finished helping somebody into a room, and she just gives you a laugh. Look who's awake!
He's still wiping shit out of his eye with a cloth. He's like, I left some apology and a bit of a tip. I'm very sorry. I have to go clean myself. I'm in a despicable state.
Be careful out there. She's kind of waves at you on your way.
The only danger to me is myself.
Yep. So the owlbear will also look for attention from her. Like, oh. They like pat their paws on the desk.
For Persephone.
Yeah.
She kind of jumps back, very startled. What is this?
It's an owlbear.
She kind of sniffs a little bit. Is there an owlbear on my table right now?
Oh, right, she's blind. Shit.
Yes.
He's friendly. Okay. I promise he's friendly.
She kind of very tentatively puts her hand out and pets it. She looks like she was more petting it to entertain you. She does 2 quick little pets and draws her hand back. Okay, have a nice day.
Zephyr goes to pet him and then realizes how filthy his hands are. He's like, later.
Yep, and Despair will walk out with her owlbear.
I don't mean to be rude. I've just had a couple bad run-ins with...
That's okay.
Bye.
You and me both. Technically, that's out of character. Sorry, that's kind of...
Metagame!
Yeah, well, I mean, my dude kind of died from it in another game, so it's...
Ooh, yikes.
That's the game I'm in.
Yeah.
Damn,
my paladin got, ripped in half and just barely survived.
It do be like that sometimes. Anyway, where you guys headed?
Bit of a sidetrack, sorry about that.
We're headed to the bathhouse. Probably.
Okay, then.
Absolutely. Zephyr feels filthy. Because he is filthy.
As you guys are leaving, you notice in front of you, looking like he just left as well. It's your boy, Vialis Demore. He's just kind of walking with his hands in his pockets, just looking at the ground as he walks forward. And you just kind of pass him on your way.
Wait, where did he come from?
The inn.
So it's the asshole guy, right?
Is he walking toward the Therum district or away from it?
Can't really tell yet. He's like on the same path you, but he could easily be going to the docks district.
Zephyr's gonna look at the wall of the Therum district, looming over there, and then look at him, and then think, fine, and start following him.
Okay. As you follow him, he doesn't notice you at all. He looks like he's kind of thought and kind of muttering to himself as he walks. As he passes the gates of the Therum district, you see two guards standing there, and they kind of tense up as he walks in. And one of them goes, Vialis, how are you today? I'm fine, thank you. And he says as he just doesn't even look at them, just keeps brushing past and walks forward. Did you guys get to that stop too? The guards kind of nod at you and don't really say much, but they give you a nice friendly smile as you walk past.
I give them an embarrassed wave.
And you can see they start whispering clearly about you as you walk by, and they kind of laugh.
He starts turning red.
And as you walking towards the bathhouse, you see Vialis turn a different direction, and he walks into the Alchemical Guild.
Oh. Knowing that if he is affected by this, he gets violent, and knowing our friends in there, Zephyr is going to concernedly, as much as he wants to go to the bathhouse, he's going to start following Vialis into the guild.
All right. As you walk in, kind of keeping your distance, yeah,
of course. I can roll stealth for you if you want, but I have disadvantage. Scale.
I'm honestly not too worried about it.
Okay.
Not yet. We'll see.
That's fair.
But for now, you guys are just kind of peeking the door. If you want to go any further,
we do have kind of business in the Therum district, so it's not unusual to see us here.
Yeah. I'm not too worried. I'm going to let you guys peek in through the. But if you want to go any further, then
yeah, I want to peek and see which direction he's heading in there. Like
he stops at the main hall as soon as the door, and there's a couple people working, and they all look up immediately and have a nervous look on their face as they see him walk. Oh, Vialis, what brings you here? It's been a couple days. You already know why I'm here. Please spare me the theatrics. We haven't seen him, Vialis. We haven't. Fucking hell. He says he just immediately turns around and begins walking towards the door again, where you guys are.
I will hurriedly shuffle away from the doorway, and
now I'm gonna need a stealth roll.
Okay, that's a disadvantage again because I have scale mail on.
From both of you.
Okay.
And yes, I don't take that shit off when I sleep for some reason.
So wait,
I was unconscious.
do I have disadvantage?
No, you're not wearing anything that would give you disadvantage.
Okay, let me just check my dex real quick.
Oh dear. 6 plus 3
Natural 20.
Ooh, okay.
Nice, you're invisible even though you're 6'4" and massive and naked. But
what did you roll?
I smell like shit and am obvious as hell. I'm at a 9.
Ooh, okay. As he starts walking back, Despair was already kind of worried, and she kind of gently puts her owlbear over the kind of stairs. There's a bush right next to this small stairs that enters the door, and she just kind of very athletically slips back there, clutching her owlbear close as she hides behind it, not making a sound.
Professional.
Zephyr is still a little tiny bit buzzed, kind of stumped, and can't really find his footing, and just kind of falls backward.
Yeah.
And as soon as you're just kind of on your butt looking up at the stairs, you see
professional.
You see Vialis walk out. What the hell are you doing here?
I was about to take a bath, but I seem to have taken a wrong turn.
Does this look like a bathhouse to you?
Well,
what are you doing here?
Obviously not. That's hence the wrong turn part.
Hey, wrong turn. I don't believe you. What are you?
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. I don't know why you have such a problem with me, but I really strongly suggest that you tell me what's on your mind.
I've got a problem with everybody.
I've cast suggestion.
Okay. What is that?
It's a wisdom save of 13.
Okay.
I so hope this works, but if it doesn't, I'm in deep shit.
Wait, what are you suggesting again?
That he tell me what's on his mind.
Oh my god, okay.
So his most immediate concern, I guess.
Ooh, it's a 13 saving throw?
Yeah.
Alright, almost seeming like... Wait, is it a spell? Like you're casting it?
It is a spell. It's verbal and verbal and material, so no somatic. I'm not moving.
Oh,
The suggest was the verbal. And the material...
Yeah, it was...
Just taking a look here, is a snake's tongue or... and either a bit of honeycomb or a drop of sweet oil. So probably oil on his fingers, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the material. I was worried about the
Oh, right.
somatic.
Sorry, that's through his symbol, right?
I just wanted it to, I was hoping that he would notice that you cast a spell on him.
Nope, no somatic gesture.
Okay.
Although you would see me grab my moonstone and try to cover it as much as I can so the light shining from it doesn't show.
Yeah, I don't think he's not going to really be paying attention for anything like that.
Cool.
So, as he's speaking, he goes, "What are you doing here?" And you kind of... Oh, hold on, sorry. Hit a scroll.
Yep.
I'm looking for Doran Shala. What the... And he looks at himself like kind of looks around confused that he just said that at all. Get out of my way! And he just frustratedly pushes through you.
Okay, perfect.
And he just starts walking off back towards the inn.
The suggested course of action can continue for the entire duration. We have 8 hours to inquire.
Are you serious? Wait, he just
I'm
has
not
to tell
kidding.
you. He has to tell you what's on his mind. 8
I
hours?
didn't try. I don't have detect thoughts, though. This is the best I could think of.
That's bizarre.
It's an 8-hour duration. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to continue any further than he wants to, but he would be required to say something because I did ask for him to take a course of action.
Yeah, that's absurd. But
I know. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. He pushes past you and just get out of my way. And he starts walking back in the same direction he came.
Okay, fair enough.
You guys gonna interrogate him more? Or are you gonna head to the bathhouse?
I'm good. I'm filthy and disgusting, but I am going to. I'm going to keep that name in mind. Sorry, could you repeat that name? I couldn't quite make it out.
Vialis Demore.
No, the one that he said.
Doran Chala. Dorin. Chala. Challa.
Thank you.
You are welcome. You guys headed to the bathhouse now?
Oh god, yeah, I'm filthy.
Alright,
Yeah, I'm in the bathhouse too. I was just falling behind.
Alright, so you guys make your way and you head to the bathhouse. So it's pretty early in the morning here. Actually, as you enter at the front desk, being run by Nim Yellery, as per usual.
Mm-hmm.
Inquiring with her right now is Lewin, and as they're here for their morning bathe.
Okay.
And she's kind of talking, and she turns around. He is kind of talking to Nim, and he turns around. "Why, looky here!" He chuckled. "I trust you had a pretty good night last night of research and investigation, was it?" And he looks at you, covered in vomit, and had clearly been drinking.
I say, yes, we were celebrating an investigative victory, but unfortunately it seems to have gotten out of hand, as you can tell. And I'm trying to, pour on the charm here.
Roll me,
persuasion. Or deception? I guess it's not really...
Deception.
So persuasion?
Yeah, persuasion. Deception is more for a lie. Do perception. Okay. Or, persuasion.
That is... +3. No, plus... Yeah, +3. That is 13.
Okay.
Not super great.
Yeah, it's a pretty low difficulty class, but... Yeah, anyway, you kind of say that, and he just goes, "Yeah, alright, just know that I'm a little bit wary, as all you can see. Despair is my girl, and whatever. I just want to know that you're just not trying to get free business out of her and nothing more. Please promise me that."
Of course, that's nonsense. I would never do such a thing.
Alright. He kind of turns and looks at Despair. "How are you doing, my girl?"
I had a great night of drinking.
He looks almost shocked at your positive attitude, as you have not spoken to him in a happy manner in a very long time. Well, that's great, Despair. I'm glad to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks almost jealous that she's enjoying her time with Zephyr. Well, all right, girls, you know what to do. And the girls kind of walk off, and hanging back a little bit, kind of giving you an eye, like a side eye, is the girl from before. Oh, that's the wrong name. Thora. She's kind of the blondest, lanky girl, giving you a little side eye as she walks off.
Zephyr's keeping a straight face, but the moment he's in the bathhouse, he starts getting smug.
No, she's looking at Despair.
Oh, okay, good.
And yeah, she just kind of walks off. And then Nim kind of steps up. Sorry about that. What can I do for you?
Well, and I display my robes and such, and I say, It seems I may need some laundry and a bath. I had a bit of a wild night.
I don't think our baths are powerful enough for that.
I know.
She laugh, and she just goes, Of course. Take as per usual. Take any room you want, and let me know if you need anything.
Certainly. Do I remember how much silver, or if it was just on the house? I don't even know. If the laundry service costed anything.
No, it's on the house.
Okay, cool. Alright. I've got a towel and my pants, and that's pretty much it. The only things that weren't liquefied by my vomit last night.
Yeah. As you guys kind of walk off, she puts up her hand. Despair, may I speak to you for a moment? I know I'm always bothering you, but I just want to speak for just a quick moment, if I could.
Take your time. I'll be in the bath.
Sure. I would like to take a bath after the...
Oh, absolutely. And as per usual, it's on the house. Quick word with you.
If this is a whisper, I'm just going to pop out of the chat. Just text me when you're done.
Well, if you pop out of the chat, how are you going to record?
It's still recording. I'm just going to take the headphones off, that's all.
Oh,
but, yeah, but basically, she's going to talk to her. You can stay if you want. She's probably not going to be...
If it's not a whisper, then no worries.
Alright. She just kind of looks and goes, well, Despair, I just want to know, like... I try not to be alarmed or judge people, but you're not wearing clothes. Like, you know, when you're not around with Lou and you don't have to do those things, I know he can be very scary and very demanding, but you're your own person. You don't have to do whatever Lewin tells you. You can put on clothes, especially when you're with that one. Live your life, don't...
She just tilts her head with this very confused look, like, I don't see any problem in wearing clothes. I don't know why everyone else sees.
And
no, I'm not saying...
Zephyr will speak up. Yeah, don't be judgmental.
No, I had no intent to be judgmental. I just thought that it was something that Lewin made you do as punishment or something like that.
Oh, no. This is my own, decision.
Oh. My apologies. Please enjoy your bath. She looks kind of embarrassed, but she just kind of goes back to her desk and looks at her book. Even though there's no work to do in there, she's just pretty embarrassed, so she wants to look away.
Oh, the owlbear will, walk over to her and,
she just gives, a quick
rub his
little...
head against her leg.
A little chuckle and pats him really quick. Off now with you. She puts her head really close to it and gives...
Then Despair and the owlbear will walk into the same bathroom as the Zephyr.
As per protocol. Alright. You guys walk in. Is it the same room as last time? Or
probably. I mean, I'm just going with the basics. I'm not going, I'm not going to do what this shot did with taking the presidential suite of bathrooms, you know?
Understandable.
But he'll toss his book bags down and not take one out, because they are not getting damaged here while he's still filthy.
Yep, and Despair will just leap into the bath.
Alright.
Making a huge, massive splash.
While you guys are bathing, can I get a perception roll from the both of you?
Oh, I'm good at that.
Okay. That's just a flat 20 for me.
Wait, what?
That is...
Oh,
no.
I got a 2.
I got a natural 1.
Oh.
Okay. These are my usual rolls, by the way, people. I never roll well.
Never mind. You don't hear anything.
I'm underwater.
A normal bath.
Despair is washing her hair and I think her hair was probably caught the most of the brunt of the vomit.
I would assume so.
Oof.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, by the way.
It's okay. It happens. And then she just,
I still have much to learn from my human side.
I would assume.
I don't think anyone could tank a drink like me.
Clearly not.
They should make a competition out of that, she says to herself.
I would assume, like, Despair is pretty used to drunk people vomiting on her due to her career, her line of work.
Right. Sounds about right.
Well, you guys take a pretty normal bath. You don't hear anything out of the ordinary.
God damn it, man.
You guys going to chill here? You going to just bathe up and leave, or what y'all doing?
We're probably gonna chill, bathe up, and probably wait for the laundry to be done.
Absolutely, and once that is finished, he's going to think, I gotta head to the Alchemist Guild.
Alright, well, you guys finish up, and pretty much as soon as you're done, Nimin's already done with your clothes, and she hands it back to, I was going to say both of you, excuse me. She hands them back to Zephyr. And you can tell that the girls are still...
They probably have that, like, really warm laundry,
Oh,
you know?
I love that.
Just, like, right out of it.
Like, just, like, steam warmed, like, oh.
Once she comes over and hands them to you, the podium where Lewin was leaning on, and he has his normal eyebrow up in his expression, and was clearly talking to her about something. She goes, here you go. And she just goes back to the podium, and they start talking again.
Thank you very much.
Despair will try to listen in.
Perception.
You know I got to.
Head it up.
Oh, fuck. 10.
15.
10 with my +5, you know. So it's 10 total.
Yeah, you're putting on your clothes, so you're not really paying too much attention.
And
The
I'm
Despair
like, oh, warm.
kind of gets a little close as she starts to hear them. I can't keep doing this every day. Please just leave me alone. And she sees you walk up, and she just kind of stops talking. Well, anyway, I think your girls are done now, okay? And he goes, whatever. And he just walks over and starts collecting the girls from their rooms.
I have a question, Despair.
Hmm?
Is
She
he
looks
always
over.
this, unpleasant? I'm guessing that's probably a DM question.
No, I mean, no. She would know. But she just kind of doesn't really say anything, mostly because she doesn't want to be overheard. She actually tries and tests out if Zephyr can speak Infernal.
That's actually one language he can speak, but he will try Abyssal.
She doesn't.
She doesn't? Oh, fuck.
No.
He speaks a lot of
so-
languages, but that's not one of them, unfortunately.
Yep, so Despair would just, like, gesture him, like, to go outside with her.
He
And to
follows.
talk.
He follows.
She makes sure that, you know, he isn't around, and she says, he isn't really that pleasant, but it's not the worst I've ever dealt with.
That's
Just
upsetting
quick
to hear.
side note. Infernal is what you're thinking of, I think, because all tieflings speak Infernal.
That's what
not
she said.
Abyssal.
I tried Abyssal because I couldn't speak it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so, like, Despair would say that.
That is troubling to hear. I'm sorry that you have to deal with so much frustration, although in your line of work I imagine that's pretty common.
She just shrugs.
At least you have a healthy attitude towards it.
And let's just go over to the guild.
Sounds like a plan. I'm quite warm and comfortable now, so I think I should be presentable. And,
As am I.
Always. This is the best he can do without, like, staring at her, you know? He's still getting used to it, but he's doing his best to acclimatize. He's not he comes from a fucking noble house. Like, he's not used to seeing people walk around naked all the time. So he's still getting used to it.
So y'all are headed to the guild?
Yes, the Alchemist Guild, I believe.
Got it. Okay, you walk in, and you notice a tall human man. Oh, excuse me. A tall, high elven man.
Oh no, he's not gonna like me.
He's got kind of like looks like a lab coat almost. It's brown, but it's in the shape of a lab coat, and almost similar to Arshad, has stuff hanging off of it, and he's just working in the main area. Well,
I see.
hello there. I think I saw you a little bit.
I'm afraid I haven't had the pleasure. My name is Zephyr, and you are?
Karis. He extends his hand.
I shake it, with a cautious look to him, because all the elven people he knows are snobbish bastards, so...
He's lived in this city for a very long time.
He shakes it cautiously, but acceptingly. I'm actually looking for information on one of your guild members. He had a business deal with someone we know, and we needed to make sure that everything was on the level with them.
Absolutely. What's the question?
I'm looking for Doran Chala.
As you say that, his expression kind of washes white, and the sound of everybody working in the room goes silent for just a brief second as everybody kind of hears you. The words Doran Chala echo through the room.
At which point, Zephyr's head tilts slightly and says, "You can't tell me you don't know who he is."
That wouldn't really work with everybody here. We all know who Doran is.
Clearly. I was wondering if you'd extend that offer to me.
Well, sure. He kind of looks down, and everyone has kind of gone back to their work by now, but are clearly listening intently. Almost a little nervous that he's going to divulge this information, because they don't even like to talk about it too much.
Start speaking in Elvish.
Ooh, all right then. What do you want to say to him?
No, he understands.
Yes, he does.
I'm doing work for a benefactor best left unnamed, and we are looking into claims that Doran Chala may have done something he shouldn't have been dabbling with. What can you tell me of this? And trust me, everything you say, I will not divulge to anyone, and I will never mention your name.
He kind of looks around and just nods at you. Well, I suppose I can tell you if it's for important information. He clears his throat and kind of sits down at his chair and motions for you to sit as well.
I take it
Despair
gracefully.
would follow.
Well, I didn't hear
Except
either
he
of
doesn't
you.
understand.
I didn't hear either of you. I'm sorry.
After you.
Hi. So Despair would just, follow. She doesn't understand, but she would probably, catch up on, the gesture to sit down or something.
Okay. And you?
Are there 2 seats?
Yeah.
Okay, then, he brushes his robes back down and sits as properly as he can, as much as he has been out of practice.
Despair just, sits on the chair, kind of, her legs are sort of spread out,
You can tell
just,
Zephyr's trying to be noble, but he's clearly not been at it for, 10 years.
Despair is just acting inappropriately.
That's, that's fine with me. I'm enjoying it.
Well, I am afraid I might not be able to much as...
You're cutting out a little, sorry?
I'm afraid I might not be able to help you with as much as you, but I'll tell you what I knew, what we all knew.
Please.
Dorian was very well respected around here. He was a family man. His family lived here for a time. He kind of swallows and just looks at the ground, a little, talking about it. Well, he was a good friend of us all, and he was one of the most respected alchemists, and he was just a very smart man. Until one day he came in and was acting a little different, more worried, less composed, apologizing for everything. He just seems guilty, and I didn't know what the problem was, and I kept asking, and he just said it was fine, please. He was spending a lot more hours in the guild. A lot more hours. He was already pulling all-nighters, but he was here every day. It's almost like he didn't sleep. The only time he left the guild, he would leave and say he has a meeting and walk away. And we never knew where he went, but he walked off towards the dock, sometimes towards the inn, sometimes we just didn't know. And then we stopped seeing him a long time ago. We stopped seeing his family not too long ago as well. And by a long time, I guess I mean it feels like a long... It's only been a couple of weeks. He just kind of looks at the ground. He was a good friend to us all, and he disappeared. Everything gone from his house. He just left.
He just disappeared completely? No trace of where he might have gone? No
Not
note,
that
no
we know.
explanation?
No note, no explanation, nothing like that. I wish there was, and I know I can't do him justice, but I promise you Doran is not the type to do something like that. He would have left us a note. He wouldn't have left us a note. He would come in and tell us what was going on. He would spill his guts and tell us everything that's happening and try to get our help. Come to the guild with a request and we'd help him. Of course we'd help him. That was Doran. But he was just gone one day.
In these all-nighters, has anyone attempted to engage him? Did anyone see the inside of his shop?
Yes. The tiefling man. Yes,
Vialis,
I believe you
yes.
saw. Vialis, correct.
I'm aware of him, yes.
He would come in here, but they wouldn't do much work together. He would come in here and request the assistance of Doran, and they would leave. And that was happening for quite some time until, not too long ago, he came in here looking for Doran. We told him what happened. He looks pissed off, and he just left. And every once in a while he comes back asking about Doran.
More agitated, I assume?
Absolutely. He thinks we're hiding something. Dear?
I would like to see his shop if I could. I understand that is a bit unorthodox, but trust me, it's for the greater good.
You just mean his work area, like in the lab?
His general lab area.
So it's pretty much all in this main area.
Okay.
Like different desks and things. He usually worked right over here.
Did he
Desk
leave
that-
behind? Did he leave behind any form of personal work, or did he take all of that with him?
He was pretty secretive about his work, and we're all curious, but he didn't want to tell anybody. He's just working every day on this. It seemed to be the same thing. You know, we can't tell much more just by looking at it, but it seemed like he was on the same project, and then he was gone. His work was gone. His documents gone. His notes gone.
Gone. Were any of them... nothing left behind?
Nothing. It was supposed to come back with all of our research, right? Pull it up and put it somewhere. He wouldn't do it with anything. I kept asking. I said, whatever you're working on, please, like, share your... Put them in the documents, store them somewhere, right? He didn't want to.
Was he
Said it was a personal matter.
Was he also getting agitated and angry?
No, by no means.
Okay, good to know. Do you know of anyone in the city that had close ties with him that we might be able to still find? Not necessarily
family.
If his family is not available, then friends, people he worked with. Aside from these gentlemen, of course.
He was close friends with a lot of people in the town, but I don't know that he hung out with anybody outside of his family or would go drinking or nothing like that. He was just a friendly guy and was just well respected and well liked. People know him, but I don't think anyone's going to have any more information than the guild on him, if that's what you're looking for.
That's understandable. You said he came in worried. Did he feel like... Well, obviously you can't tell me what he felt like, but did he seem like he was nervous about being followed or shaken by someone he may have met with, or...
He kind of looks down
I just
and...
wonder, did he have any enemies?
Other than Vialis. I don't know if they were enemies, but the way they seemed like it. He was almost following Vialis' commands, but it's not like Doran at all. I don't know.
Good to know. By the way, if you see Arshad, could you please let him know we're looking for him?
His grim expression kind of turns up into a smile, and he looks back into the room where, or a doorway of another room where you can just see Arshad's leg, kind of. I'll let you know if he wakes up.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you for all of your information. Sorry, what was your name?
My name is Keris. Keris Tal. Keris Tal. Kheris. Tal. Thal.
What did you all say? I'm really confused. I assume they all speak in
yeah,
Elvish.
shit. Sorry, I forgot about that whole. I relay that whole conversation to her out in the hall, like in subtle whispers.
Oh, all right.
So it seems we would have our man, if not directly involved, he's at least indirectly involved. And being an alchemist, we can assume he may have had something to do with this. When
She just nods.
when Arshad returns, I would like to attempt something with that blood he had. I think I may have a solution.
Yeah, to be honest, never mind. Keep going.
It's okay. Yeah. Actually, at this point, I think we can shut down the stream for today.
Oh.
It has been 2 hours, and I really need a pee break.
And it was getting pretty juicy. It's a decent stopping point, I would say.
I'd say without the rest of the group here, we should probably not go too far in depth without, having to give them a mountain of notes to look at.
I agree. And plus, you guys have alch to do, and Arshad's not here.
Exactly. And I think he would probably be the most viable person for that situation.
He would be.
So it's kind of the perfect stopping point for plot-related reasons.
I actually like the way it went. It's not like you guys got mad work done or anything, but I think it was a success.
I had a lot of fun with that session.
I had a lot of fun too. It was great.
I did not expect to find massively powerful fish.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at the fishing system. But let's.
We'll work it out. No worries. But yeah, holy shit, that was a lot of fun.
I agree.
I especially loved the bar scene.
That was great. That was some solid character stuff.
My characters like to get shit-faced, but that was the most fun I've had in a bar in a long time. Since the first river drinking scene. Like, you were there, Cosmic. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and also when River had some fun and she
oh god, the prostitute. Oh Jesus. Yeah. Don't always have the hookers, kids.
Kids.
Please tell me kids don't watch this.
All the children watching.
Alright guys, it has been fun. Holy shit. Another wonderful episode.
Thank you for watching Dungeons and Drama.
Thank you for watching Dungeons and Drama, yes.
Heck yeah. See you for next session.
See you next time, guys. Bye.
Bye.
A big thank you to Cosmic for all of her fantastic artwork, by the way. This has been tremendously awesome to have our characters drawn out like this, so thank you very much.
The shout out.
Oh, thank you guys.
There will be a YouTube channel for Cursed Life Gaming, or at least for Dungeons and Drama. We're starting that up in a little bit, so if you guys search us up, you should be able to find us, and all of our videos will be on there from now on.
Heck yeah, that's how they would have seen this video in the first place. So anyway,
probably.
See you next time.
So just in case you're seeing it on Twitch, we also have a YouTube channel. So yeah, keep an eye out for that, and we'll see you next time, guys.
Bye.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.